forbearance, some low payments, and they worked with us really good. Then we went to the city and had a bunch of fines. Anyway, I'm gonna tell that story in a minute. But anyway, this is Mark Crawford. He's one of our investors. And this gentleman here came to one of my conferences over in the Bay Area, and now he's back to see what we do. This one we don't.
Did it come up on the meetup? Is that who's on about it? Or?
No, I sent him a thing about, are he still looking at mobile home parks?
Okay.
And he said, him a deal that we were doing this conference. Yeah, Joanne, she knows where we're at. Yeah, she'll be coming right in here in a minute.
How do I not? I'm not wanting.
How's we gonna stop that?
Hold on.
Oh, it's just because she has it on hers. You're gonna probably have to turn your sound off or something.
Let me just turn the sound volume off on the
Oh, yeah, we can turn the TV volume off.
You're so smart. Sometimes.
Pretty smart.
Mhm.
I went all the way across the country one time. Are we live? Are we live?
Yeah, we're living.
Okay, I don't really care. I'm gonna tell this story anyway. Wait, waiting on Joanne to get here. I went all the way across the country checking on mobile home parks. Me and Vince DeLisi, and I had a guy named Big Pete. Pete passed away, unfortunately, here a couple years ago, but Pete wasn't working anywhere. He kind of retired. Used to work for me a little bit in the mobile home, in the real estate business. He had a real estate license and couldn't sell too much. Anyway, I said, hey, you want to learn to drive? You want to go with us across the country and drive some? Because I need somebody else to drive. He said, oh, yeah, man, I'd love to do that. So we're around Bakersfield, and I said, hey, Pete, why don't you go ahead and drive a little? He said, okay. So I got over there, and Pete, I'm over here, and I'm almost asleep, and the wheel runs off the road, and I wake up. I look, oh, Pete's asleep. I said, Pete, wake up. So he fell asleep 4 times. I got scared. And that's the first time Vince had been with me, and I didn't think so I just drove the whole way there, Mississippi, all the way there. We went it was on like 10, 12-day trip. And Pete, he was a great big guy. He used to be a semi-pro football player. So, but you know Pete Prezant, you went to school with Pete. Remember Big Pete? He'd be older than you.
Yeah.
Pete Prezant. Big Pete.
Is way older than me.
No, is he?
I'm way older than her.
Well, I don't know, but he was young to me. But anyway, Big Pete. So he's in the back seat and he's playing these video games. And it's going, beep, beep, beep. I'm going to let him drive, beep, beep, beep. And me and Vince are about to go insane. And we're in the middle of somewhere back in Mississippi or Arkansas, somewhere. We're out in the middle of a boondock town about midnight. Come on in, Joanne. And he's been doing this beep, beep, beep on this cell phone, on this game he's on.
I'm going live on
and
Facebook.
I am in the middle of this town somewhere out in Arkansas, Mississippi, and I couldn't take it anymore. And I stuck my head out the window and I went, rah, 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 rah. But I was scared. I don't care if you're live on Facebook. And anyway, I said, and I assumed because I was crazy because he was driving me nuts. So anyway, and Vince is over here laughing because he knows why I'm going, rah, rah, rah. So we go pick up Mike Nelson. He had flew into somewhere in Memphis or somewhere. So we pick Mike up. Mike gets in. Now we got to understand, we've been on the road for 4 days going beep, 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 beep. We pick Mike up at the airport. Mike gets in the car, and about a minute after he gets in the car, he said, Pete, can you hit mute on that thing? Pete said, sure. I didn't know you could hit mute on the thing. I'd been listening to beep, beep, beep for 4 days. I was ready to kill Pete, but I was scared to mess with him because he was huge, and I figured he'd strangle me. But anyway, that's my story. Live on Facebook. Hi, Joanne.
Hi.
The gentleman next to you is and this is Katie Gilbert. She's part of the Gilbert family. And this is Mark Crawford. Mark is one of the guys I used as a reference to you. He's one of my customers.
Perfect. Yeah. Fantastic.
Well, anyways, are we ready? I guess we've already been live and we're ready. We're going to get into the mobile home park business. We've got some people here live and in person. And then we are live on Facebook, YouTube. I'm really not familiar with all the stuff. All I do is talk about mobile home parks. We're not trying to do anything with I'm not technologically savvy, if you will. I have people working for me that are technologically savvy, and I do understand numbers and reports very, very well. And I'm going to talk to you guys about numbers and reports and mobile home parks. And today we have our second little installment of this podcast thing we're going to start trying to do. Is this a podcast or what is this?
It's like a webinar.
A webinar? They want to call it seminar. I hate the word seminar, but I used to have to go to seminar when I was in a restaurant business. Go to seminar and they say, shake your hand and tell your neighbor how good he is, and say everybody's going to be wonderful. And the same idiot that couldn't even make a plan or a budget, and 2 days after the thing, who was going to be really good, he still couldn't make a plan or a budget. You can't motivate people. People, I'll get off track here, but let me tell you something. I learned this a long time ago. People said you can't be friends with your employees. They're absolutely wrong. You don't have to be friends with your employees, but if you are friends with your employees and they like you, they're going to do a lot better work for you. When you're in the restaurant business and they have the cracker that hasn't been opened, they'll put it back in the bucket. If they like you, if they don't, they'll throw it in the trash. They throw the silverware, they'll go back and they'll put it in the garbage can instead of putting it over there where the guy wants it. It's very simple. You don't have to go fishing with them, but you got to respect each other. Same thing in the business we're in here. A lot of people don't understand in the mobile home park business. You may own a mobile home park. You may have a company that we run about 80 mobile home parks. This man's one of my clients for a long time now. We run 3-4 parks for him. We just bought one together up in Peru, Indiana, and he didn't want us to make a nickel yet. We haven't put money out. We ain't made anything yet, but we're going to, hopefully. Knock on wood. But anyway, I can tell you that the people living in the mobile homes in your mobile home park are your customers. Your managers are your customers. If you don't have that manager, you're not going to have, if you don't have a good manager, you're not going to have a good mobile home park. Just not. If they like you, they'll do a better job for you. They won't steal your money.
I think you're getting ahead of the agenda.
You get ahead of the agenda?
You
Okay.
are.
This is Rachel. This is my right-hand person. That's her to say right-hand man. This is my daughter, my oldest daughter. She's been in the business now. Rachel, how long have you been in the mobile home park business? When did you start working for me? When you were, how old, 16, 17?
Yeah, about that. So we'll just say for a long time.
Okay. Rachel is the director of acquisitions for my company. She's the vice president of my company. My other daughter is the vice president of operations, Kristen Ernst, and she's not here tonight because my 10-year-old grandson had to practice football today, and if he didn't go to the practice, he couldn't play, and it's 110, and she couldn't get anybody else to take him, so she had to go take him. And I told her, just miss it. It'll be okay. So we're going to talk about mobile home parks tonight, and I think this section here is how to operate a mobile home park long distance. That's part of what we're talking about.
That
the main
is,
thing.
there's the agenda right up there.
Oh, there it is, right in front of me. Here we go. How to conduct due diligence and find the right mobile home park. Software and systems used to operate a successful mobile home park. What to look for in an off-site manager, and owning and operating a mobile home park from long distance. I'm going to start out with number 4, even though number 1 is the first one. Is that going to mess you up if I do that? But I'll go back to number 1. Owning and operating a mobile home park from long distance, okay? I'm just going to tell you, we can go back to number 1.
Mm-hmm.
Owning and operating a mobile home park from long distance is in Riverbank if you live in Oakdale. It's in Riverbank if you live in Riverbank, unless you want to go over there and look at it every day, unless you want to take care of it. You're still, unless you live there, you're operating a mobile home park long distance. Now, is it easier to go look at it if you're close to it? Sure it is. If you're not going to have an off-site manager, you might want to live close to it. If you're buying yourself a job, if you buy a mobile home park and you run it yourself, you're buying a job. That's what you're doing. You need to find somebody that knows how to run a mobile home park. That is their job. That is the job they do. That is their job. That's what they do. That's what we do. We didn't have people that needed people to run mobile home parks, I would be out of business because most of my clients won't buy a mobile home park unless they hire me as their consultant to do the due diligence, check the mobile home park out, put together a plan, and then operate the mobile home park after we close it. So owning a mobile home park long distance, I thought about this because we're going to do this deal. It doesn't really matter to me if it's on 7th Street in Modesto or Pulaski, Pennsylvania, because I have one on 7th. Well, I don't anymore. We don't use it, but I did it for a long time. And I have parks all around that's real close. I have one in Pennsylvania that's easier than the one in Modesto was, I can tell you that. It doesn't matter where it's at, it matters who the manager is. So, and what you do when you buy it, what kind of plan you have. So we're going to go back down to this number one. I just wanted to get that so people think, well, I can't buy a mobile home park. Well, yeah, you can, as long as you learn how to do the due diligence and read your reports. Very, very important as an owner that you don't hire someone to run your mobile home park and not read the report. Because if you don't read the report and we go to talk about it, you ain't gonna know what we're talking about. And I'm asking you for advice on your mobile home park. We need to fix something, and I got to explain to you what we're talking about, and you own the park. Think about that for a minute. You got to be right on top of your park. You got to read your report. You have to read the report. Okay. How to conduct due diligence. Good deals are hard to find. Mistakes are expensive. Due diligence is the first step in making sure you are successful. Do we have another thing, or does it go right to number 2?
It goes right to number 2.
Okay. We're going to talk about due diligence. Due diligence is, you can go on the internet and you can find what due diligence checklist. We all have them. All the people who do what I do have a due diligence checklist. They have them on a computer. You don't even have to know anything to go get a due diligence checklist.
You can Google it.
You can Google it. You can get it right now. Print it out. Look like a star. I know people are telling people, I don't know how to put this. I know people in this business that we're in that are supposed to do sort of kind of what we do, that try to tell people how good they are and give them advice in mobile home park business. And they have forms that they can fill out, and they know all this, and they do charts and they do graphs and all that, but they don't know a damn thing about mobile home parks. Not the real mobile home parks, not really. So in order to do the due diligence, yes, the forms are good. Ask for if you can get 3 years worth of tax records, if you can get the profit and loss statement from the park, if you can get a rent roll, and you can get all the delinquencies, and you can get the unit type vacancy, you can get all that. Any mobile home park that we run, we have the rent manager, we have the profit and loss from the day we took it over, we have the current rent roll, we have the unit type vacancy telling you what's vacant, we have a list of anybody that ain't paid and what we're doing about it. But when you buy a mobile home park from some people, that information might not be correct. They may not have the rent manager, and even if they do, it's just, a computer only gives you what you put into it. So if I have a mobile park and I have 30 tenants, and I'm charging them all $1,000 a month, and it's bringing in $30,000 a month, and it goes in the bank, and you ask me for my deposits, and I send you over where I've been putting $30,000 a month for the last year. And then the year before that, I didn't really keep up with it much. It took a lot of cash, but I figured I better start claiming the income if I was going to sell it. Well, I'm making $360 a year, and I've got about 40% of that for expenses, so 60% of 360, whatever that is, a couple $100,000 a year, and we'll give it to it at 10 cap, make $2 million. Problem is, I haven't really been putting in $30,000 a month from the tenants. I've been putting in 15 from the tenants, and I've been putting in 15 out of my pocket because it's my money. So I can put $15,000 in, write myself an owner draw for $15,000. That don't have to go on the profit and loss statement. That doesn't go. It don't have to go on there. It's not part of the operations of the mobile home park. I can just put that $15,000 over there again and again. At the end of the year, I made $180,000 more, and I got to pay taxes on that. But I got write-offs and I got depreciation, I got stuff. So yeah, I might have had to pay an extra 30, 40 grand in taxes. But if I sell it to somebody and they think they're going to be making twice what it really makes, I'm going to make what, $300,000, $400,000 minimum off of that $40,000 in taxes. here's what you got to do. You have to go to the mobile home park. You have to look at it. If all the tenants in here don't have any teeth and they're kind of jerking around when they're walking, that means they're tweakers, and you're going to have to evict them all. So that's what's going to happen. So you might want to put in your plan, tweakers, evict. Now, that's the real mobile home park world we're talking about here, folks. Because here's the real deal. You can buy mobile home parks that don't have the tweakers. You can buy mobile home parks that don't need anything done. You can buy mobile home parks. You don't need a mobile home park consultant. You don't need anybody to find that kind of mobile home park. What you need to do is have a whole bunch of money, because the people you're competing with are also looking for that. And they have, everybody understands how good the mobile home park business is now. I mean, you got so many people that are big money people in the mobile home park business now. I mean, just Warren Buffett. Warren Buffett's big in the mobile home park business. There's just a whole bunch of people that are Clayton Bank. So you have these people that have been buying apartment complex at a 4% return on the money with all that fixing stuff, and you have to fix in the apartment complexes in the water, then it leaks in the floor, runs down in the one below it, you got to fix the roof and the ceiling and all that, and it appreciates and depreciates according to what buildings appreciate and depreciate for. That's how that industry works. They found out that you can buy a mobile home park. You don't have to own the mobile homes. You just own the land. And you can make 6% on your money. And they're willing to pay cash for that and then refinance it later. And it don't matter if they're paying 7% on the money, because they don't have anything to do with their money. It's in the bank. So that's your competition when you're going to buy a mobile home park like that. If you have that kind of money and you're willing to pay that kind of prices for what they're selling for, all you do is look on the internet. Now, what they're listed for, what things are selling for, and you will see. Now, if you want to make money in the mobile home park business today, and all these things we're talking about tonight is just things that I have learned in my years in the business, and a lot of it is my opinion, but I do it a lot. And so I can tell you that you're going to have to buy something that's pretty ugly to make any money. Because if it wasn't, you wouldn't be able to get a good deal on it. So you got to buy something, you got to fix it up. So you got to do your due diligence, and you can't believe everything. You got to check it out. You got to also find out things like, if we take the mobile homes that are existing out of here, can we replace them? Right now, we're pulling 28 mobile homes out of a mobile home park in Jacksonville, Arkansas. And in that mobile home park right now, we can't put anything back in there without conforming to the new codes. It had 37 spaces. So we cannot go back in with 37 spaces. Right now, it looks like we're going to be able to put about 28 in there. 8 per acre, and there's 4 acres, whatever that is. Anyways, we're not going to be able to put what we thought we could put in there unless we file for a variance. So we're just working through all that stuff. And we go in and figure out a way to make the plan work. And you got to understand, we know that we couldn't go in here and replace it. So we didn't go out here and do anything stupid. We didn't go out and clear all the mobile homes off. And just because we've got a water, sewer, and a power hookup, order a bunch of mobile homes and put in there. Because then the city's going to come over here and say, well, you're too close to that one, and you ain't got a turnaround down here. So we went and had a civil engineer. And if you didn't know what you were doing and you bought the mobile home park, and you didn't know you needed to hire a civil engineer, then you might be in trouble if your plan didn't call for tearing down all the mobile homes and replacing. They wouldn't let you start putting in homes because some of those homes were condemned. And if you tear one down and the one next to you is not over 15 feet, if that's what the code is, you're not going to be able to replace that one. You have to wait until you tear that one down. So you got to check all that out during your due diligence. Also, you can't go on the internet and look up what it takes to evict somebody. because it doesn't matter what the computer says when you evict somebody.
Mhm.
It matters what the local judge says when you go to evict somebody.
Park right now where the judge has her own rules about evictions and
Where's that
stuff.
at?
Not, Selma.
Oh, Selma, Alabama?
Mhm. Not, it is, they're allowed to interpret the law the way that they want to.
They all do
basically.
it.
They
It's
all
not
do
just
it,
you
yeah.
picking on you.
No, they're just, all the judges, they
We
can
had a
interpret
park.
the law how they want to, and each judge does it differently. So when there's a new judge in town,
We
it's
have a
done
lot of
differently.
parks in Georgia. In Georgia, if somebody don't pay their rent, you can evict them pretty quickly. They'll come and make them move out of their home or your home if you own it. And then they have so many days if they own the home to come back and pay you or move their home out, and you have a lien on it, they got to pay you. Well, not in Hazelhurst, Georgia, you don't. In Hazelhurst, Georgia, if they don't pay you, you have to pay somebody to come move the home. You can't move the tenants out of their home, but you can pay somebody to move that home. So that's not the law. I called the city attorney, and the city attorney said, "You're absolutely right. The law says what you said, but the judge says what he says, and I can't do anything about it. He's the judge."
That's a tough call.
Well, I just went over and talked to the man that we bought the park from. He had some vacant land. And I said, "How much would you charge me to park some trailers in your vacant land so I can move them people out?" And he said, "Nothing." I said, "Okay." So I hired a guy for $500 to come jerk them trailers out, about 5 of them, and pull them over there in that field. They couldn't live over there because they didn't have any water and sewer. In order to get it back over here, they had to pay him $500 to pull them back, and they had to pay somebody to come in and set it back up, hook it back up to everything. So, and then they had to pay me my rent. So I only had to do that once, and everybody started paying their rent. So, so you got to figure out what you got to do.
So,
But it could have been a lot worse.
so you can legally unhook them, move them over.
Absolutely.
If
But I
that's what
gotta-
the judge says.
The judge said I had to do that. But I didn't want to do that. The judge said, "I'd rather just have them pick them out of the trailer and then file for an abandonment and get the home." So the due diligence is the first step, and we could go into a lot of due diligence questions, but mainly you got to go in. You got to look at the park. You can't believe all the reports you see, and you can't believe what you read on the internet. You have to say, "Well, how do you find the right person?" Well, you use your brain. You call a real estate agent that does property management and say, "Who do you use to do evictions?" "We use Bill Johnson." And you call Bill Johnson and say, "Hey, Bill, got your name from the real estate agent over here, Century 21, you do evictions. What do you charge and how long does it take?" You can find out pretty quick. It's not rocket science. It's just thinking about it. You can't go by, you got to use common sense in a lot of this stuff. Okay, number 2. We use software system. We use Rent Manager. There is other systems. There's Yardi. There's what else? Rachel, you talk about the system. I don't really. Rachel's in charge of. She actually has people that hire her to come in and train their employees in Rent Manager. Correct?
Right. So Rent Manager it's a very easy program software to use. I would recommend the online version. I've had people who buy the standalone version, don't get the standalone version, get the online version. That way you can get all the updated information that you need, and you're not having to provide your own server, which gets really expensive when you start acquiring more units and everything. So they've got, we've used Rent Manager for like 20 years now, and all the features that they have are a lot more than what we actually use it anymore. But they've got an express version of Rent Manager, and then they have their, I guess it would be like a pro version. And it's easy to get your managers. It's easy to train people on for the managers. It's easy to train your offsite managers. And it's easy for you as an owner to read the reports that come out of Rent Manager. They've got a profit and loss, the trailing P&L, unit type vacancies, any report you want and more is available on there. And they also have integrations so that you can run background checks. You can even advertise through Rent Manager. You can create or collect rent payments through Rent Manager. So there's really just a lot of features. And you can also do inspections through Rent Manager, and your managers can take pictures of homes, inspect them, and then upload it into the program. So that is the main program we use. And then we also use some other systems in place as far as tracking our the paperwork and stuff. I don't know.
Well, yeah, we put it on
Trello.
Trello, and here, and we have a marketing person that here. Our system is we use the rent manager to pay the bills and keep up with who's paying and who hasn't, and to keep the notes in. So if I want to see who's going to pay the rent, I say, can you send me the age receivables with notes? And it tells me who hasn't paid, and the comment tells what's going on. We send that to the owners. Every month they get a current rent roll, current unit tax vacancy, and then they get the current age receivables with notes that tells what's going on right now with any tenant that hadn't paid. And then they get their profit and loss statement from last month, because this is this month and the month's not over. So they get the profit and loss statement from last month and the check register. Of course, everybody has online banking, you already have that, but we send it anyway. The check register showing everything that came in and everything that went out. And you have to read that.
Yeah.
You have to look at it and say, because if you don't, you start asking for things like the last page, things that those kind of things, you can drive yourself insane when all you have to do is say, the age receivables note says 0 to 30, 30 to 60, 60 to 90, and 90 plus. Take your first month, print one out. Next month, print out the next one. If you go down here and there's a new name on there, don't worry about it. Because the new name means he only owes you for this month. He's not behind. Don't worry about it. If the name was on there last month and it's still on there this month, and the balance they owe hadn't went up, don't worry about it. They paid you this month. Maybe they didn't pay nothing on their back balance, but they paid you this month. Now, if they owed you $700 and this month they owe you $800, and you need to look at your note and see, why does that guy owe me another $100? What's going on? What are we doing about that? And if the note don't make sense, then you need to check that off. And that's when you need to communicate with us, the offsite manager, and say, your note don't make any sense. What do you mean? Account created. I don't know what that means. Where's my $100? Where's that? So that's what you need. You need to look at the reports that are important, and not get bogged down. And well, Bill said he was going to go over there and put up a post, and what did he do? Who put that post? When are they going to get that? No. Here's the rent roll. Rent roll $15,000. Here's your P&L. How much do you bring in? $15,200. Well, we must have collected some late fees. Here's the expenses. I don't know, nothing looks pretty. Here's trailing for the last 6 months. There's water bill looks the same. Sewer bill looks the same. This looks the same. That looks the same. Oh, wait a minute. What's come? We had such an expensive electric here. Okay, we had a power pole we had to replace. Okay, you got to look at your P&L, and if it's in line, then you don't need to worry about anything. You do need to look at your age receivables and notes to make sure you don't let anybody fall behind in collecting your rent. Because here's the secret to mobile home parks: trailers, rent vacant trailers, and collect the rent. It's real simple. That's what you do. It's so simple. You do that. This man sitting right across here bought a mobile home park in Columbus, Mississippi, with a bunch of vacant trailers. The man he bought it from was not a bad person. They were fixing trailers, but there were two partners, and one partner wanted to fix stuff, the other partner wasn't able to fix stuff, and so they needed to sell it. He went in and bought it, and he's been fixing trailers just pretty fast, and bought trailers. How many trailers have you bought and put in there now? Three, and that's been in just a few months.
Yeah, since February, March.
Yeah. And we got crew over there. You got a crew still there fixing trailers, right? You took one of them out and sent them over to Louisiana, right?
Yep.
Okay. We had two crews. We took one of them out and put it in a park in Louisiana. You know what we're doing in Louisiana? Fixing trailers and renting trailers. And unlike people we're not trying to be a property manager here, okay? We are consultants. We actually, the one that he owns in Louisiana, we have a property management company that manages the property for us, because he don't trust that. Matter of fact, I think he's cheaper than the on-site manager that was there when we bought the park. And he's a lot smarter and better because he owns his own company and he owns a mobile home park of his own. So we don't have a problem using a property management company to be our on-site manager, even if they don't live on site, it's according to what they charge. So if I can get a property manager living on site at $1,000 a month, or I can get a management company to do it for $1,000 a month. Usually the management company is a little better as long as they answer the phone. But if they don't answer the phone, it ain't working for me. So I'm going to use them, and that's what we do. That old boy we got there now, he answered the phone pretty good.
That's probably a good
Pretty good.
segue to the next slide.
Okay, here's what to look for in an on-site manager. I can tell you this: look for somebody that ain't going to steal your money.
How do you monitor? In all these years, in all forms of business, how do you bring monitor?
What you want is you want somebody who has common sense. And here's another thing. People think that when you buy a mobile home park, it's not making any money and it's ugly and everything needs to be fixed and it ain't making any money. Well, we can't afford to pay anybody very much. Well, no, you're wrong. You need a better manager now that can fix things and take care of stuff and pay them more because it's all messed up. Once you get one fixed and everything is rented, then you can hire the retired couple that you can pay a little less. Okay, I don't know if I'm supposed to say a retired couple on here live like that.
Well, you already did. So.
I already did. You can
or
hire
anyone. It doesn't
you can
matter.
hire
It doesn't have to
anyone,
be a
someone to
retired
come in
couple.
that maybe don't have the same skills as that person you were paying before. You can bring someone in, everything's already fixed. All you got to do is collect the rent, keep it running. It's a lot better, easier to drive the automobile after it's fixed than it is to drive it when the wheel's running sideways, So you take that person you're paying a lot of money when he wasn't making any income. Now it's fixed. Take that person and take him and put him in Peru, Indiana, okay, and put him somewhere where you ain't making any money. You need to make money and get somebody good in there to fix it. So you got to have a good manager, and you got to have a manager that will answer the phone. I can tell you this from being in this business forever and ever and ever. If I have a mobile home, and I don't care where it is, it can be in Pulaski, Pennsylvania, Modesto, California, or Armpit, Arkansas. I don't care. If I got a mobile home and it ain't renting, here's 99.9% of the time, here's your reasons. It's really not ready to rent. The manager's not answering the phone, or the manager's rented it and keeping the money. There's your three reasons. So you have to go make sure. Well, how do you, your manager has to be able to be smart enough to send you pictures. You'd be surprised how many people can't send pictures. And I'll tell you, I have a district manager in Mississippi that's not real good at balancing a checkbook, doing much of that kind of stuff. But what he can do is he can find things and find deals, and he can make sure that the people that are supposed to be fixing the sewer line are fixing the sewer line. And Ducky got that sewer line fixed over there at Thomasville, and they was wanting $5,000-6,000, and he got it fixed for a whole lot cheaper than that. And so you got to have somebody that's smart enough to find deals, and that can make sure people are working, and that's smart enough to say if you have contractors in the mobile home park working, oh yeah, there's 3 guys working today, and write it down. No, they ain't but 2 working, because you may be paying for 3, and you got to make sure that contractor's got as many people working as you're paying for it. So looking for a manager, it's not easy, but usually when we buy a park, and it's one of those ugly, you normally have to change managers. Sometimes you don't. Sometimes the manager's okay, it's the owner's the problem. But when we had in Columbus, we have a change manager. She manages about 3 parks for us. And nothing wrong with the owner. They just didn't have the money to finish the plan that they needed to do, and he does. We run them through, what system do we run people through? Amrin, is that how we run our managers? How do we check the managers?
Well, you can do a background check through just a background check, but then just make sure, like, do you know how to send an email? Do you know how to send emails? Do you know how to post something on Facebook? Because they have to post on Facebook Marketplace once their homes are ready to rent. It's easier for the manager to post there locally, if they're willing, on their Facebook rather than us trying to post here, because it'll get flagged as spam. And then, do they answer their phone? Are they professional if a tenant complains or gets hot-headed? Are they going to be hot-headed? You can't have those sort of things. And a manager, like you said, a manager that's running a park that is not a turnaround park is a different type of manager than a park that's running around a turnaround park. Because a turnaround, they also have to handle the projects. If you have 2 crews working there, then they need to go in there and just make sure the crews are doing what they're supposed to do. And then also knowing how to show houses. So you have to talk to them, and you really got to give them a good couple months, I would say, before you know whether or not they're going to be good. But if they're going to be bad, you can sometimes tell within the first few weeks.
Yeah, you can tell if they're going to be bad right off the bat.
Yeah.
If they're going to be good, some people can put up a good front and they can fool you for a little while. You got to, unfortunately, in today's world, you got to let them get a little money ahead and see what kind of bad habits they have after they get some money ahead. And I know that people listening out here say, why would you hire a manager like that? We don't do that intentionally. And I could sit here and say, well, we have a perfect screening process, and everybody we hire just turns out to be wonderful. That's not true. Some of the parks we buy, people would not live there. We have to find somebody who would be willing to go and take on a project and be willing to put up with
Desirables.
bad situations
Yeah.
sometimes.
Not the
And you
best
got to be willing
neighborhoods.
to pay for that to get somebody to go do that. And you got to put that in your plan. How much am I going to pay somebody to go do that? So, that's part of due diligence, putting a plan together. What we look for in an on-site manager is actually somebody with good common sense. I'm not necessarily, if they can do maintenance, that's okay. That's a plus. If they can't do that, I'd like rather have somebody that can collect the rent and not do maintenance than have somebody that's just, can do maintenance and not be able to talk to people and be nice on the phone and be organized. You got to have somebody organized there. All right.
I don't want to, so
Mhm.
part of my experience and part of how you run your system is there are a number of other checks and balances in place as well. The managers are sending in weekly reports to say, here's what's been done and here's what hasn't been done. The manager is doing quarterly inspections of the properties, of the rented units that you have, so that they can stay ahead of repairs versus waiting for tenants to move out. You have checks and balances, like you said, you may have a regional person that will come in and check to say, hey, if it says it's not rented, why not? So you have some checks to make sure.
Yeah, we go check on it. Absolutely.
Yeah.
And then I have a lady
I
have a freelance person in the Bay Area that goes and puts the manager in the front seat of their car, sticks the phone out the window and says, they're going to drive through the park today. And we just look at all, and then you come to trailer 7, and there's a refrigerator in the yard. We can take a picture here on her pamphlet. We have it in Trello. Trello, am I saying that right? Put it in Trello, and the manager, we got to get that refrigerator out of there. That's the tenant. Well, if it's a tenant, serve them the notice. So we serve the notice, and then the manager on the next weekly update, this is not a rent manager thing. This is a Robert Merchant thing. I want to know what's going on in the park. The person that knows what's going on in the park is the manager. So I have a form that they have to fill out. Very complicated questions. How many people moved in last week? How many people moved out? How much money did you make? How many deposits did you make? How much was it? Because we know, because we got online, but I want you to know. I want to know, you know what's going on. Projects next week, not next month, not next year. Projects next week, funds needed, and what's going on with delinquent tenants. And I want that updated every week. And when I want to know what's going on, I have them send me that, and I have them send me the contractor invoices. When somebody works at the park, I don't get it on Friday. I want every day somebody works, they write down what to do on Monday, what to do on Tuesday, what to do on Wednesday, and they turn that in. And then the manager sends that in on Friday, and then we take that, and then the call log, what the tenants call in and say, I have a leaky faucet. Then we can take Bill's timesheet, and at 8:00 on Wednesday morning, he said he fixed the leaky faucet. And then we can take the call log where the leaky faucet was at and see that it was checked off, fixed, And who done it? Bill, 8:30 Wednesday morning. And then we can call that tenant, because we have all their phone numbers, and say, hey, this is CCI. We want to make sure that Bill did okay fixing your leaky faucet and we don't have water running. And if the tenant says, yes, they did a good job, we're okay, but the tenant said, no, well, right now it's a steady stream. Then I know I got to say, hey, Don, Reed, Ducky, that's my buddy Ducky, I need you to go over to West Point, Mississippi, and go in the trailer 12 and get somebody to fix that leaky faucet and take your foot and put it up and talk to that maintenance man over there, lying to me, and find out why the manager and the maintenance man lying to me about stuff. And so that's what you have to do. And it's real, it's not complicated. And I'm not, there's a lot of people can do this job. This man sitting over here could do this job good as anybody in my company. I already know that because I've been around him. He's real smart. But he don't want to. Because if he does that, he'll only have one part, maybe two. You might be able to handle the three you got, maybe. But you wouldn't be able to handle anything else unless you quit and just did that full time. That's all you wanted to do.
Three parts.
And you'd have a lot more gray hair than you got right now in just a short time. So, because it'll drive you crazy. See, I don't have a lot of hair.
I ain't going there.
So, checks and balance systems, which are
Yeah,
the
we do quarterly
owning and operating
inspections.
mobile home parks from long distance.
We do quarterly inspections, so that's going to be also on the next slide. Okay, go ahead.
Oh no, this is the do's and don'ts.
Okay, go back.
To what?
Operating long distance. That was the last one, number 4. Okay, did you have that inspection? Is that part of this part?
There you go.
Right here. This is a quarterly inspection that our managers do when somebody moves in, when they move out, or if they're living in the park, it goes every 3 months. They go in and do an inspection on the home, and they leave anything that is, if it's okay, they check it. If it needs improvement, then they sometime that month's supposed to fix that and check off when it's done. Okay? If it's something that is not been fixed, they need to not check off that it's done, and it needs to have it. See right there, the kitchen floor repair, it was done. Loose outlets done. Floor repair done. I don't know which one that was. Rosestown Mobile Home Park, 6/13/24. Okay, you have to do these inspections, because if you don't do an inspection and somebody's been living in your home for a year and a half and you ain't inspected it and they move out, and the old lady that's so nice, that's been paid her rent on time, really nice lady, never had a problem with her, and you've always checked her stuff. Well, what you don't know is her nephew, the tweaker, has moved in the back bedroom, has been cooking crank back there. She's 83. She don't know what it smells like. And he's already burnt the back sink, and it's already sucked up like it. These things I'm telling you is from experience, guys. The back sink has already curled up and curled up on itself like all up on itself where they've been burning that stuff he cooked it to. And he's got 4 bulldogs living in the back bedroom with him. And you don't know that because you hadn't inspected the trailer. So now you've got to get rid of the tenant because there's crazy nephews in there. And it's just, when you'd been inspecting it, you'd have known it the next time you did an inspection. Oh, you got the crazy nephew in here. No, we got to fix this right now. So that's why we do the inspections. And in order to make sure they're doing their inspections in the mobile home, so how do you know they're doing this? I know if I was younger, not now, of course, I'm doing everything perfect now. But when I was younger, I'd have probably, if I knew Miss Williams was over there, I'd have probably sat in my living room and did her inspection, because I know ain't never any problem with her. Because if she has a leaky faucet, she calls me. So I went over there and did hers. So that's what you got to watch out for. That's why you got to send somebody to the park. You've got to call the tenants and make sure they actually did their inspection. You've got to have somebody go check and do the inspections behind the inspectors.
Do you want to do this or?
Do's and don'ts. Hire somebody with experience. I'm not saying it's me. Hire anybody. There's other people that do what I do. I don't think that anybody does it any better. Maybe they do it as good. I don't know. I don't worry about what anybody else does. I don't worry about what I do. There's a lot of people out here with a lot of books and a lot of experts. I see experts all the time in the mobile home park business. Some of them make sense. I watch some podcasts that actually make a lot of sense. They know what they're doing. I see a lot of them that have no clue what they're doing, and it looks like people are still listening to them. So I don't know what's going on. But here's what I know. Most property managers don't really know the mobile home park business. In other words, if you ask somebody that's in the property management business to manage your mobile home park, and you get ready to paint your mobile homes, and they hire the painter that paints their apartments, he's going to do a pretty good job, and your mobile home park's going to look pretty good. Problem is, it's going to cost you probably $2,500 a trailer to paint them. We have some people just got through painting 30 and one. How many trailers they paint in yours?
We have 5 or 6 that were painted last year, but
Oh, well, we must have painted them before you bought it, then.
we just painted a few.
Those people that charge $500 a unit, those guys.
Yeah.
Okay, well, we have some people that, and I thought they painted all of West Point too.
We only
It was
painted about
Rosetown.
6 or 7.
So you didn't have to paint them all. Okay.
Not anymore.
Okay, well, these people that go out and they'll paint a mobile home for $500 a labor, and then you got to buy the paint, and then they'll fix up any skirting and fix the steps, but they won't replace them. They'll replace them and all that. So if you don't know that, and your property management company's not really doing anything wrong, they're just hiring the person they always hire. They're not beating you out of it. They're not charging you more than what they charge them. Most times they charge you a little bit of something, but that ain't what we do. We don't make any markup on anything. We hire a guy to come out and fix the mobile home. We get his approval before we fix it. He's the owner. Kristen works with him, negotiates it first, sends it to me. I look at it. I might negotiate it a little more. When me and her both agree that that's what we're going to pay the guy, then we get his approval. When he says yes, then we give the guy money, or we pay for the materials online with a credit card. We don't want the contractor paying for it, because then they'll take it back and get the money back on it. So we just put it on a card, and then we just pay them as they do the work. We give them a draw. They got to eat, so we give them a draw as they go along. We just don't pay them a lot until they finish the trailer. And so we do that not because we're real nice people, not because we want the park to be successful, because I'm in the consulting business, and I make my money not managing mobile home parks, as consultant. When you buy anything and I'm the guy putting the plan together, I get a fee. The fee is depending on the size of the project and what it takes to do the project, and it's not depending on the sales price. I might get $50,000 on a $200,000 park. We just bought one for $190,000 plus the fines. My fee on that's $75,000. Okay, if that was a real estate fee, it'd be $12,000. I'm not going to do that park for $12,000. I can tell you that. I would do it. I wouldn't do it for less than $150 if it's anybody but him, because it's a real pain in the butt park. I mean, it's going to be a lot of work. Okay, but that's when I make my money there. I don't make my money running the park. We lose money running the park. I just pulled a P&L on the real estate. I lost $21,000 in the last 3 months. Did you know that? Mm-hmm. You're inheriting a company that lost $21,000 on the management side. But we have to manage my parks, and we got to manage my customers. If I don't manage the parks, I won't have customers anyway. So that's a necessary thing that we have to do. But if I run your park for you and you like it, then you'll buy more parks. And guess what? You're going to need a consultant to go put all the stuff together. I'm going to get I'm going to make a bunch of money. That's what I want to do, make a bunch of money. I want my kids to make a bunch of money. I want my customers to make a bunch of money. That's what we're all in it for the money. If it quits paying money, I'll quit tomorrow. Okay. But go fishing and do music. If it quits paying, I'm going to quit. If it quits making money, I'm quitting. Okay. Okay. So just you do the same. Okay.
I probably would.
But it's been good to me, this mobile home park business. I've made quite a bit of money over the years, enough to feed her and raise her. And we just run mobile home parks. And because we run mobile home parks, I'm gonna finish. Be willing to pay for a good manager. Just because your park's ugly, all right. I didn't know this was on here. I already went over this before I even knew this was on here. Read your reports. You meet with Kristen how often?
Weekly.
What day weekly?
Fridays.
Fridays. I don't usually own there, am I? Don't want me on there, do you?
Mm.
I tend to overtake the meeting.
Yeah.
Okay, then y'all just go ahead and handle it. I don't care. That means I don't have to work too hard. And I still, okay. But he works with the person that runs his park, which is not me. I don't run parks. I don't like to run parks. I like to make sure the parks are running correctly. You can't pay me enough to run a mobile home park. That's a hard job. That's why I say those people working in that mobile home park are our customers. We need to take care of them. We need to treat them right. Need to be fair to them. Don't need to ask them to do things you wouldn't do. You know what I mean? If there's a bunch of poop under the trailer and they don't want to get under there, call a plumber. Because if I was your manager, I'd say, are you nuts? Call a plumber. I'm not getting on there. You know? Read your reports. The reason it's important for you to read your reports as an owner is you have a plan. If you don't follow your plan, your park's not going to do well. You got to follow that plan. Got to follow the plan. Okay, don't get in the way of the people running your mobile home park. Don't call the manager and tell him what to do. Call me. Tell us what you want us to do. We'll tell the manager. If you start telling the manager what you want him to do, then you're getting right in the way. Because if you tell him to do something that we told him to do something else, if he can call you anytime he don't like what we told him, and you tell him to do something different, I'm gonna work for you for about 10 minutes, and I'm gonna quit because I can't run your park for you because I have no authority. If that guy don't do what I tell him to do, he can't work there. That's why you hired me to run this project. So if I'm in charge of the project and you hired me to run it, you got to get out of the way. But if Kristen calls up the manager and says, I need you to mow the grass, we just did a walkthrough with Suzanne and you need to mow the grass. And he says, I ain't going to the grass, I'm going fishing. You better want to start looking for another manager because she ain't going to put up with that, I can tell you that. Don't overextend yourself and run out of money. I've had customers call me up and say, boy, I like this business. I'd like to buy another mobile home park. Not another mobile home park. My consulting fee on that deal would have been, my minimum's 25 grand. So I might have made 25 grand minimum. And that would have been what I made on that park he called me on. And I said, no, don't buy a mobile home park right now. It's not a good idea. Well, I like it. I can afford it. I got this much money. And I said, what happens if the sewer line goes out and you got to spend 50 grand? He said, well, I'd be hurt. And I said, well, don't buy it. Well, I think I've had that conversation with you before one time. By not?
Yeah.
What did I tell you to do?
Don't buy it if you can't.
You
got to be able to afford the plan.
Right.
Plus some
extra money. Yeah. And the 25 grand or 50 grand or 100 grand or whatever I'm going to make ain't worth it to me if I got to listen to you complain. Because I'm almost 70. I don't like complaining. So we're going to try to buy something that you can say, we have nice conversations over, not you complaining because it ain't working because you run out of money. No, that ain't my, if you run out of money, that is not my fault. But I still got to listen to you. I still got to work. I still got to work harder than I would have worked if we hadn't bought it. And I could have just sold it to somebody else and made the same thing I made off of you to somebody that didn't run out of money. I'm going to still make the same money without the headache. So you can bet your sweet butt. And if you're trying to buy something through our company and you want us to be your consultants and you don't have enough money to finish the plan, or your plan is stupid, we're not going to be your consultants. You ain't going to pay me nothing because I'm not going to work for you. Okay? Stop the plan midway and expect to get the same results. If you're supposed to fix 40 trailers and you fix 20, your plan is finished because you didn't finish the other trailers. It'll be halfway finished. If you're okay with that, and you're okay with stopping there and saying, I'm okay with the money I'm making now. I don't want to finish the plan right now. I'll do it next year. I'm all right with that, as long as you don't have the outside of them trailers be all messed up. If you're going to stop the plan halfway, sure, we're going to do the outside of these trailers up front, right up front. That way, if you do stop fixing the inside, I don't have to worry about not being able to rent that, because who's going to rent that home with that ugly one right next door to it? So if you do your rent survey in the town you're buying the homes in and you put out everybody says, oh, I can just put out a ghost ad. You can. But if the mobile home park you're buying has 40 vacant mobile homes and they all look really bad and they all crinkled up like a pretzel, and you're going to go in here and fix 20 of them And the average rent is $700. And trailer 1 is fixed and real nice. And trailer 2 looks like Fred Sanford lives there. I can guarantee you're not going to get 700. You're going to get 500 because nobody's going to pay 700 to live next door to Fred Sanford. But if you fix that trailer, then you could get 700 for that. You might even get 750 if you fix them both. And I'm just telling you, that's the real world, and that's where coming in and doing the real due diligence makes a lot of sense. We got ready to buy a park in Peru, Indiana that we'd like to sell. That Mark went out there. He went to. Not only did he go out there, but we got the code enforcement. Who all was you in the car with? Your mom and
Code, yeah, my mom, code enforcement, the administrative assistant for code and
the guy from the bank.
the guy from the
The
bank.
tax
And we
person,
rode to, and I'm on the Zoom call, and we're looking
Yeah,
at
county
trailers, and we're
treasurer.
looking at the house, we're looking at all the stuff. And the good thing is, we bought a mobile home park. Well, this is a weekly update that the manager sends in, but I'm done talking about that.
Okay.
Here's the thing, guys. If you want to buy a mobile home park, you want to run it right, you need to call Ray. Our stuff is in there. Oh, back up to that. I'll go back into this right here. Okay. Now, I forgot where I was at.
You need to call one of us if you want.
Yeah, just call one of us if you want to talk about the mobile home park business and what we do and what we can do. I don't want to sit here and tell you how great we are and how wonderful, but I will tell you one thing. A lot of people don't want to own the mobile homes in a mobile home park. This is what you hear. You don't want to own the mobile homes in a mobile home park. You just want to get the space rent. You don't want to own the mobile homes in a mobile home park because you got to do the maintenance. They're absolutely correct. If you own a mobile home park in Modesto and you're not on 7th Street, you don't want to own a mobile home because you can get $900, $800 a month for space rent. You get $1,500 for rent, but you still get a lot of money for space rent. If you're on 7th Street in Modesto, you better own the trailers because it takes about 6 months to get rid of somebody if they own their own home in California. So if you have the tenant owns his own trailer, you're going 4, 5, 6 months to get him out. If you own it, you can get them out in about 60 days, maybe. So you can get them out quicker, but it still costs a lot of money. We don't buy a lot in California anymore simply for that reason because the evictions are so hard to do.
What's in their eviction process, if they own it, the same as it would be if you were to own from a residential private property?
No, the mobile homes are different. You have mobile home laws that you have to adhere to the mobile home laws, and you have to deal with HCD, Housing Community Development. And they are, they're watching this thing. Oh, they're wonderful people.
That's why I was not happy.
I hope y'all are watching
County
me.
was
Housing
that in?
Community Development. I love all of you. All of you inspectors that know me, I love all of you. Okay. Yes, I do. Yeah, they're just wonderful people. I love them little tickets they give you for $395 when they come out and inspect your mobile home park, and they find that the guy had the lid off of something, and then it's back on here. Oh, that guy's got the lid off now. Well, it was off last week, but you didn't write it down. You can get another $395. Come back next month. Welcome to California. But so you call us if you want to talk about mobile home park. I'm not going to tell you how great we are, but we'll tell you this right here. In most parts of the country, your space rent is about $250, $300 in a good area. I have a park in Mississippi that we get about $350 for, but it's the second nicest park in the county. Well, we don't have it anymore. We just sold it. We had 100 tenants there and 40 vacant lots. We own 3 trailers. We got $4.3 million for it. It's about a 4 cap in Mississippi. On the Gulf Coast, right in hurricane, whatever, tornado, hurricane, we still got $4.3 million for it. So that's what I'm saying. That's your competition. That's what you're buying. And that's in Mississippi now. And about a 4 cap, okay? But they bought it because we didn't own any of the homes. They had a whole bunch of money. They'll sell them homes to the tenants, and they'll put 40 more over there, and they'll get a loan. I don't know why anybody, but anyway, they bought it. We sold it. But that's what your competition is. So most of the time, you're going to get $250. But I'm going to say you're going to get $300. Here's why you want to own the trailer. You get $300 a month, and you have a small park, 30 lots. 3 times 3 is 9,000. Your expenses are gonna be a minimum of 30%. They're probably gonna be 40 because it's a small park. We're gonna say it'll only be 30. So that means you're gonna make 70% profit. So 30,000, 3 times 7 is 21. So you're gonna make $21,000 a month profit off of that park, right? No, that ain't right. You're gonna make $3,000, $9,000 a month, right?
9,000 a month. Yeah.
Times 12.
Yeah.
Well, no, here's what let me start all over again. I'm gonna rent the trailer for $300, a space rent for $300. It's gonna cost me 30% to take care of it. It's gonna make $210 a month off of that spot. So I'm gonna make $210 a month times 30 spots. How much is that?
6,300.
Huh?
6,300.
Times 12.
75,000.
I'm gonna make 75,000 a year off of that mobile home park, right? Is that right?
Yep.
210 a month times 3 is 6, so it makes 75,000.
Yep.
Now, if I can get 300 a month, I'm gonna get 700 a month for rent. What's 7 times 3?
21.
21,000 times
20.
12. Yeah, it's 21,000. 7 times 3 is 21,000.
700 times 30 is.
Well, just do this
So
right here.
252,000.
Do this right here. Do it the other way.
Okay.
At 700, do it the same way per space. 700 times, we're gonna say 40% for expenses because you own the trailer. So 700 times 60%. That's your profit. Equals
420.
420 times 30
So that's 12,600.
times 12.
151.
So I'm gonna make $151,000 if I own the trailers. I'm gonna make 75 if I don't. Well, if anybody thinks you can sell something for 70, it makes 75 for the same thing, you sell something that makes 150,000, they're not. You can't. And if you're the guy got to swing the hammer, it may not be worth it to you. But if you got somebody like Rachel, not me, but Rachel that'll run it for you, then why not make the 75? Why not? That's why he does it. And we could sell every park you got, you could sell those trailers to the tenants. The problem is, everybody said, well, I'll just sell them to the tenants. And then I don't have to worry about fixing them. And I'll still get that much money. I'll still get 700 a month. And you will, right up till they pay you off. When they pay you off in about 5-6 years, your bottom's going to go out. You're going to go down to that $6,000 a month profit. And that's all you're ever going to get, unless you buy one of the trailers back or something, because you already give away your profit. Say, well, how long do they last? What's the expiration date on mobile homes? I don't know. I've got some 1970. We've got about 70 mobile homes that we own in a park, in 3 parks in Iowa, in Maquoketa, Iowa. I think at least 50 of them are 1976 or older. We rent those homes to Section 8 right now for $750 a month because we inspect them and we keep them picked. Now we get into that. Here's how you do it. These are actual renovation reports for a mobile home park. I don't know which park it is, but I can tell you it's 22, 23. So it's been the last year or so. This is what it cost us to fix a unit right there. That's the actual cost of the material, cost of the labor. I don't know which park it was, but it was Robert Pinnell. He's working in his park right now. Jeremiah Grant, he's in Arkansas, in Nashville, Arkansas. So this was probably in, it don't matter. You see what we're averaging fixing mobile homes. Now here's the deal. I got a mobile home sitting there making me nothing. It's already sitting there. I bought the mobile home park with a bunch of vacant mobile homes. This is why mobile homes are the best investment in real estate, not mobile home parks, mobile homes. And this is just my opinion. I have a mobile home park. I bought it. I've got, how many's on there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. I've got 18 homes on here. They were making me nothing. Zero. Nothing. Now I'm already paying a manager. I'm already mowing the grass, trimming the trees, unstopping water sewer lines, already paying taxes and already paying everything except for taking care of that trailer once it's fixed. Well, I can't take care of it once it's fixed, it'll fix it. So my big expense is fixing it. But think about this. There's 18 of them there. So I didn't have any of them, but one cost over 10 grand. Let's just say they all cost 10 grand, because I maybe had to do refrigerators, stoves that don't own there or something. So there's 18, that's 180,000, right? I spent 180,000. I can tell you that anywhere that is, rent's gonna be $600 a month. Okay, so what's 600 times 18?
10,000.
Huh?
10,800.
Times 12.
129,000.
129,000, and I've already got everything else, so it's gonna cost me 18,000, say 20 grand to take care of it. How much was it?
129.
So it's gonna say it costs 29,000. It's really gonna cost 20, but it costs 29,000. I'm gonna make $100,000 off of $180,000 investment year one. Year two, I'm gonna make $100,000, and I've already paid back 100, so I'm making off of 80. In year three, I'm clear. And that trailers will stay good forever as long as you keep them inspected. And if the roof goes bad, we just did a park in somewhere in Arkansas, Monticello, and we put in 3 roofs. It was $900 labor per roof, and the materials were about $1,500. So $2,400 for a metal roof, and it'll be there forever. And you put metal roofs on yours, hadn't you? Any of yours you had to do metal roof yet? One? What did it cost? $2,500?
I think they run about 25 to 3,000.
Go to the next slide.
Well, the next slide is the before and after photos.
Okay. Right here. Remember the park I was talking about in McCutcheon Trailers? This is the actual home before. Them look nice, don't they? See there? Number 42 in Maquoketa. There you go. There's number 42 in Maquoketa, Iowa now. There you go. It's not the Taj Mahal. Well, this is, wait a minute, back up.
This manager.
Okay, now go to the next one. This is the park in Nashville, Arkansas. Not Nashville, Tennessee, but Nashville, Arkansas. This is the before pictures. Look at that nice tall. Look at that. Look at that roof. Now here's the after pictures. No, that's still before, isn't it?
No, that's the after. They just didn't.
Okay, well, I don't know why in the world they took that ugly picture of that bathroom and put it out here for me to be showing people how nice it looks. It got rented anyway, okay?
They didn't clean it yet. They're still.
Oh, well, they probably hadn't cleaned it yet. That's a good excuse, because that looked like crap, that picture.
Yes.
Take that off the next slide. So. Okay, this is Rachel's beautiful park. This is her baby that she picked up real good. These are the before pictures.
Here's the
Back
afters.
up.
Oh.
Look it back up. Here, look at this. Look at this. This is, and this is really not the before. This is the before after we were to clean all the crap out. But now this is the after pictures. They made it pretty nice. You think about this, for under 10 grand, and we're renting homes in Rosetown they rent for pretty good, don't they? What do you rent homes for there? I don't know which park it is. They're all the same. I don't know. It could be any park anywhere. There's that same place. They're all the same. These guys that come out and work for us, we have guys that work for us that travel around. There are 2 guys that live in their RV. Some of them have an RV. Some of them move if there's no mobile home ready, they'll move into a hotel for a week or so till they get a trailer fixed. They'll move into the mobile home. They'll stay there until we get ready for them to go somewhere else. And they'll stay there for a month or so. Then they'll go home. Like maybe they live in Alabama or Nebraska or wherever they go. And they'll stay a month or 2 months, and they'll go home. Then they'll come back, stay a month or 2 months, and they'll go home for a week or so. And they cost about $300 a day for 2 guys. We have one guy, he's the boss. We give him $300 a day, and he pays his helper. I got one guy, his wife goes with him, and she's a better worker than any. I got a bunch of people that work, and I can tell you that old boy's wife's better than all them other people working. She's good. Now, she really is. She can swing a hammer. I remember this home. Where is this? I remember this one. I was in there. I was in that home. Huh. Okay, now what we're going to do, what time is it?
8:11.
Okay, I got 15 minutes. Every time since I'm in the business I'm in, we're not brokering. I want everybody to understand that people on the internet, these are not brokering. We're not brokering these bills. I am a mobile home park consultant. Some of these deals I own, some of them I am just a consultant in, but in all of these deals, I'm running the LLC that owns the park. I have permission from the LLC that owns the property to present the property and talk to people about buying it. I cannot sign the contract in some of them I can. It doesn't matter. If you want to talk about any of these properties, call me. This is not a selling thing tonight. We're not like brokering. We are consultants. We don't try to sugarcoat. It's ugly. We tell you what needs to be done to it. We have an analysis on the property that explains exactly what needs to be parked. We will take your plan and what we already think, and we will adjust our plan to fit what you want to do. And then if that plan won't work, we're not going to be part of it. If it will work, we'll be part of it. It don't have to be our plan. It could be your plan, but the plan has to be agreed with me and you that it's going to work. Okay, let's go. Here we go. This is the mobile home park in Meridian, Mississippi. 1.4 down, 1.4 million, 400 down. I do own this park. I have a partner in it. We have some vacant RV. Here's what needs to be done to this park. We have a good manager there. We don't have a rent collection problem. It's in a really, really nice area over close to the country club and everything. Everything else around the park is nicer than all the homes. It's got little ranchettes with little ponds. We're the ugliest thing in the neighborhood, and we look pretty good. We have city water and a lagoon with a lagoon operator. We don't have any problems with anything that we're aware of. I have a partner that wants to retire. He's a really nice man. He's willing to carry a loan. I don't really care if I get a check every month or own the property. I just like to, I'm old. She's going to get it all anyway. So what the hell? So here's the thing. 1.4 million, 400 down. We'll figure out how to make it work. What you got to do is go in here, finish. I don't think we have 5 vacant mobile homes. I think we only have 4. I think we just finished one. But here's what we're doing. We're continuing to rehab things. Every time I rehab a home, I'm going to add it to the price. I'm not going to fix it free. If I fix a home and spend 15, it's going to be 1,415,000. Okay. Now, there's some vacant RV lots there. Is that phase 2? Okay. We have 16 RV lots there, and we used to use these and rent them out by the week. And they was coal factory or some big power plant come in, and they had people coming in and working for several years. We rented these things out by the week, and we paid everything. We didn't furnish them. We just when we had a bed in there, and a stove, but we didn't furnish them like with dishes and stuff. But we did furnish the utilities, and we would rent them out for so much a week, furnishing the utilities, and then the factory jobs, all that phases all went away, and we rented them out by the month for a while for like $500 a month, and with a $50 limit on your utilities. And I believe no, we didn't, because we couldn't read them in this park. But anyway, it doesn't matter. They got so old, we threw them away. And now we decided we was going to go ahead and buy RVs and sell them. Rent them out. And my partner said, I'd rather just sell the park and carry the note. And if you want to buy it, fine. If you don't, that's okay. We'll keep it. So it's not like a fire sale. But I believe I can go in here. We'll run over a little bit. I said, what you need to do is buy an RV in here and rent it out for $500 a month. I've got one meter that controls 4 RVs. 1 meter for 4, 1 meter for 4. So I'm going to put an RV at each one of those meters so I can read that meter, because I get a bill from the power company for that meter. Then I'm going to put a sub-meter in and put another RV in a sub-meter and read the meter. So when I end up, I'm going to have 16 RVs over there, and we're going to read the meters and put it in Rent Manager, and it tells you, because you got the bill from the power company, it tells you what your stuff is. We just entered in Rent Manager, the beginning, ending reading, and we can bill the tenant for their electricity, and they don't have to go turn it on. And I know that'll work, because I do it everywhere else in America, and it'll work here. But if you want to buy that, 1.4, 400 down, good, clean park, and we don't have any problems there. And we got a good manager that's been there for 5-6 years. And even during the coronavirus, we didn't have a big problem with people not paying. It's got 2 houses on the property and 60 something. How many sites are there? 59 lots, 28 park-owned homes, 23 of them rented, 5 of them need fixing, 10 tenant-owned homes, 3 vacant lots and 16 vacant RV lots and 2 houses. And I have an office with an apartment on it that I used to have rented out. And I found out that my manager didn't want nobody living behind his office, but his office is in his home where he lived in that nice brick house. So I don't care. I think if you see in this, James, you're going to have to let somebody rent that apartment. I can get $500 a month for the apartment. I wasn't aware we wasn't renting the apartment. Okay, now let's go to the next one. This is the best thing, even though I own that other one. I don't want nobody to think it's the best thing. This is the best thing I've seen in a while. This is a park, and he will tell you, I believe that you've known me for quite a while. I don't usually say, I don't like to push things. I just tell them about it.
Yeah.
This one here, I like it a lot. My wife, I hope I could talk my wife into doing this because I know I can make much money here in a relatively short period of time. Because $300,000 down includes my fee. Okay? That includes my fee. I'm doing this one for a good deal for both parties. And this park right here, we run it right now. When I took this park over, we had $37,000 in back rent owed. A year later, we have 0 road. We don't have anybody there that owes rent. Not anybody. We don't have any problem renting anything. We're not fixing trailers there right now because we decided to sell it. The owner's not fixing homes. I don't own this park. I'm just a consultant. But because he lives in Tennessee and this park's in Kentucky, he would rather sell it and not have it because it's in Kentucky and he's in Tennessee. Because of that fact, I can get him to take $300 down and finance it. And all we have to do here, the only thing you got to do is fix trailers. That's all we got to do. So right here, here's the plan. Rehab 12 trailers. It's going to cost you $15,000 a home. That costs whatever that, $180,000, right? Mm-hmm. All right. At that time, you'd be making your $131,000 net income. The loan we take off would be $68,000. So you would have invested into this property at the time, cash, 68. What's 68,952 net cash flow? Yeah, 480,000, right?
Yeah, I don't.
Yeah. So in the end of phase 1, you would have 480,000 out of your pocket. You'd be making 68,952 after your note payment, which is 14.3% cash on cash return. That's simple. That's, you don't get 14% cash on cash return in good deals. Now go to phase 2. Now in phase 2, you're fixing 12 more trailers. You spend another 180. Right now you're at $660,000 out of your pocket, but you're making 20% return on your money. And if you look at your loan there, this is after your note. Now your cap rate now is up over 10%. It's 12.5. That's because at $1.56 million, your income is $193,000, your net. Now that's not anything to do with your cash. That's your net. But if you got ready to sell that property at a 8 cap, what would it be worth? 193 at an 8 cap.
193,000.
Yeah.
An 8 cap is 2.4 million.
Well, 2.4, and you've got invested into it 1.56. So how much money could you make right here at the end of phase 2? Well, you got 2.4 and you got $1,556,000. You're gonna make $840,000. So you make about $850,000, except for that probably $100,000 you're gonna give me for fixing it for you. So I'd make about 100. You'd make about $750, and I believe we could do this in a couple of years. I mean, should be able to do it in a couple of years. Because if you rent 2 a month, that's 24. And we're gonna be fixing, how many?
24 to fix, but you're,
Well, you might be doing it in a year if you rent 2 a month, yeah?
but you probably repair what, 1 every 3 weeks?
No, it's how many crews you get in here.
Mhm.
Yeah.
You put 2 crews in here and they can do 2 a month. 1 crew should do 2 a month. So you should be able to do 4 a month. If you do 4 a month and you got 24 of them, this is only fixing 24. So 4 a month, that's 6 months. So if you give yourself, I think it should be done in a year. I always say 2 because I don't like to underestimate. But I think very, very simple, easily. And I don't think you can turn around and sell it in a year and make 800 something thousand. I think you could have the traders rent it. And then you claim that income for a year and you can go to the bank, refinance it, or sell it to somebody.
And while you're doing that, here's phase 3.
Here's a phase 3, and that's to rehab 12 more trailers. And Melissa, you gotta go? This is a friend of mine named Melissa. I want everybody on YouTube to see her. She's going to sleep
They
over
can't,
here.
don't worry.
She's going to sleep over here. And
No, I'm okay.
are you okay?
Yes.
Thanks for coming.
Thank you, my brain's full.
Okay.
See you tomorrow.
So anyway, you fix 12 more trailers. Now your income is up to 253,000. Now what's it worth with 253,000 at an 8 cap?
3.1.
And what do you got into it now? 1.7? So now you made 2.7, that's 1.4. So now your profit should be around 1.4 as far as what, now could you sell it for that? Maybe not. Maybe you could, maybe you couldn't. But that's what the value is. I think a bank would have come up with you. I think a bank would come in if you went to somebody like Vanderbilt who claimed the income from. By the way, all you people in Facebook land out here that say, I can't buy a mobile home park with park on homes, the bank won't loan the money. Yes, they will. You just got to go to the right bank. American Commerce Bank in Georgia, they count the income. Clayton Bank, they'll do it. Vanderbilt Mortgage is great lenders on park on homes. Got to be a bank that understands park on homes. Go to the next one. Side crossing for you people who want something in California. This is the mobile home park that a friend of mine owns. We run it for him. He's only selling it because he wanted his first one to be in California. And now he's bought 3 more out of state. And he says, I'll sell this now and buy something out of state. For people who want something in California, if I was going to buy in California, this is what I'd buy because it's right on the river with a bunch of trees. It's a great location. And we have a loan on it for about $600,000, a private loan. Maybe it's assumable, maybe not. I'd have to ask the guy. And would the guy that owns it right now carry a note on it? Maybe with $400 or $500 down. I talked to him. I don't know if he would, but he might. But all this park needs now is to put more RVs in. We went in and fixed all the mobile homes. We bought it. We fixed all the mobile homes in it. Then we fixed that house that was vacant up here. And then the apartments fixed, the stick-built houses, everything that was vacant, we bought it, was fixed and rented. And now we're buying RVs and putting them in and renting them out. We've got, I didn't know we just bought 6 and 5 of them are still vacant. Okay. We have 16 RVs there down on the river that have power and water, but no sewer. And so you can't use them year round, but you can use them seasonal for people to come in. And if we don't rent them out and fill it up, we're going to buy our own RVs and put them in here and rent them out weekly and daily during the season. And then if it gets flood season, we'll just pull them up top. This is a good park right on the river. And I think we can buy this for $2.6. And I also know one thing. It's approved for 100 lots by HCD. Got 72 that we know that's there now because you can go look at them and count them. And if you look at things so far in the state of California, look at the one over here in Riverbank I sold last year for cash, 27 lots for about $1.7 million or $1.8 million all cash. Now, if you can buy that one for that park would be, I tell you what, I firmly believe this park here is about a $4 million park. If you just go in here and finish filling it up and then put some RVs of your own down there by the river and rent those out to those little and make sure you get your truck where you can pull them out when it starts to flood in the wintertime. And it's like we've already trimmed trees. We've already done some road work. The park looks good. We're running good. We have an attorney there that will evict people if they don't pay the rent. So we've got everything's in place, and we're not having any problems there. We just and the guy don't have to sell it. It's not a fire sale. But I asked him, and he will because he wants to go out of state because he can buy a lot more. If he sells this for 2.6, he could buy a lot more for 2.6 than what he's selling. So that's his only reason. But if you want to be in California, but I don't like California, but I have a lot of customers that do. Okay, go ahead to the next. This is the
second
project
phase.
plan. Here's what the reason we're showing you this is everything we send to you, we will have a plan on it, an analysis as best we can figure. If we're already running it, we know pretty much what we need to do. If we're not running it and we're looking at the property, then we will make a plan based on what information we have and adjust it as we do due diligence. Now here's the park in Nebraska, 1.575, 505 down, and we can take over an assumable private loan. This park looks better than the normal park that we took over. The mobile homes look pretty good. The park looks pretty good. It needs, some of the homes are vacant there. You've got 14 vacant homes that all need work, but they're actually in a lot better shape than the ones that I showed you, these before and after pictures. These look a lot better than those. These are not as bad as most of the homes we fixed. The tenants there seem to be all doing pretty good. The owners of the park is a real nice guy. This thing was in escrow, and they called me in and hired me as their consultant. This girl did, and then after I got in looking at it, I said, well, your partner here ain't gonna close on it. He said, what do you mean? I said, because he don't know what he's doing, and I can already tell he ain't gonna close. And he didn't. And so now I'm already running it. We took over the park. We're running it for the owner now, the current owner. And he gave me permission to put it out here. So if you're looking for something that's already pretty much clean, nice, and there's a college there, and they have a lack of student housing. It looks like, from what we can see, if we took some of these homes, maybe made them into duplex units, or just rented them out as roommates to the college units, it might be the way to go here.
We
But
provide electricity and
We're
everything
doing that right now.
college students would
We're
need.
trying to put that in place, and because we're already running this park. We took it over here shortly. This is a park we already run to in Albany, Georgia. We weren't really wanting to sell this park, but we got an offer from some guy and we took it, and we were in due diligence and we did all the work. And the more we got into it, the more we said, hey, it's not a bad park. And then they come at the end and try to give us a little haircut on the price. And we said, no, we'll just keep it. And we said, you know what? We think we'll sell it, but for this price, this is the price. This is not a negotiable price. We don't care if it sells or not, because we're just refinanced it and got a really good loan in this park. You know Blasey, Scott Blasey?
Yeah.
He just refinanced this park last year. And all the homes that are in this park are not part of the loan. So we got all them free and clear. If we sell this, we'll have $1 million free and clear, and we don't have 1031 because it's just for the mobile home. So that's good. So anyway, this is a good park, good clean park. Still got a lot of upside. How many homes we still got total vacant mobile home spaces? We got 21 vacant mobile homes that, oh no, we don't. 4 of them need tear down. So we got 16 homes left to fix there. But on this mobile home park here, you're going to need about 1.34 down to buy it. Need about $1 million. You better say you're going to need $1.5 million down, and then you're going to need another 500,000. So you need about $2 million to really make this park work right.
Oh, I don't have all the different phases. It's
This
just
is the park on the Mississippi Gulf Coast, owned by a friend of mine, used to be the mayor of Visalia, California, Mr. Bonnell Pryor. I sold his buildings downtown in Visalia as a real estate broker years ago. Bonnell bought this park and moved down there, lives down there, and he managed it himself. And he'd call me if he had a hiccup, and still does. And he's 80-something year old now, and his wife passed away last year. He wants to sell this, and he would rather carry a loan on it because he'd rather just get some income and instead of getting all the money. And he don't run it, but I know him. He's got a few homes there that he needs to remodel. He had a few people that wasn't paying him rent because he felt sorry for them during the virus and stuff, but he's got them all pretty much in line now. The park looks good. It's got a brand new well in it he just put in. It's got well and septic. It's not city water and sewer. It's out in the country. It's north of 10. He's a good man. He'll carry a note. There's a first mortgage on it from a private individual that we might be able to assume. And then I think he would carry a second. And I know it says 800 down, but I just talked to him 2 days ago, and I think we could probably buy this with 400,000 down. And if we could, and we rent it out to mother, fix those 3 vacant mobile homes, that's all we got fixed is 3. 35 tenant-owned homes and 22 vacant lots. So there ain't a whole lot to do here. Fix 3 vacant mobile homes, and there's 22 lots. And on these vacant lots, you don't have to buy homes. You can go in and get 100% financing now on these homes. You just got to set up the home. Got to pay for the setup. But in that area down there, he's getting pretty high space rent there. Again, I think he's getting over 300 a month. Eh? How much he getting for? I don't know what he's getting for space rent, but I know he should be getting. We're getting 365 in our park right down there, about 10 miles from it. So he should be getting at least 325 or so for space rent on those 22. So if you went in here and put in homes there and sold them to the tenants and just get 325 for space rent, you can do it that way, and just let Zippy or somebody sell the home to the tenant. They got a program where with a 525 credit score and 5% down, they can buy a home. And Zippy then pays you the money. You buy the home on that 100% finance deal. They put a markup on it. So you got 50 grand into it with your markup. Zippy comes in here, they put 5% down. Zippy gives you the 25, your 50 grand. Now the caveat sounds great. The caveat of that is, if that tenant don't make the mortgage payment within 36 months, you got to go in and give Zippy back whatever the mortgage balance left on. So you can't spend that 50 grand. You got to keep it in the bank just in case. But at least you got it back, you know. I would just own the home and make the payments with me. This is a home, and this is probably one of the best areas of anything I have for sale.
10 minutes left.
We got, this is in Columbia, Missouri. This is halfway between Kansas City and St. Louis, right?
Mhm.
It's a major, it's a really good area, okay? And we're running this park right now, and we have Spiro there as our manager. He's doing a good job. We don't have any problems. Allison is the offsite manager. We don't have anybody not paying rent. We don't have any problems. And we just and it's in a super, super good area. Not a lot of room in that price, because we're right now, actually, we have a crew going over here right now to give us a bid on tearing down 5 homes that need to be torn down instead of remodeling. Those 27 needing remodeling, we're actually going to tear 5 of them down. And we got a guy going over here to give us a bid on that, and tearing down the fence and all these old bushes and trees that are in that property. And you're going to start renovating and not sell the park. So if somebody wants to buy this one, they better get on it, because the guy's going to be there this Friday to give us a bid on tearing down trailers. The people that just got through tearing all those down in, they'll be done on Wednesday in Arkansas, and they're headed right there to give us a bid over there. So we're just going to continue to do this property. This is a big park in Carbondale, Illinois. 400 lots, 200 developed lots, 200 lots that are already used to be it's already there, the other 200, but the infrastructure is all crumbled up and everything. You'd have to replace it. Cost about $1 million probably. It's the estimate we got. But 200 of the lots is already there, and we got 71 park-owned homes. 30 homes need to be done. 48 tenants own their own trailers living there, and 61 lots still to fix, to put homes in, and 20 abandoned homes that you can, we say abandoned homes, they're really, for all intents and purposes, park on homes, or people that walk away from their homes. Everybody says, well, you got to do this, you got to do that. I'll tell you what I do. I get a bond for title for $100 from the insurance company, a bond for title. Then I go in and fix the home. If somebody comes in and says, that's my home. So, well, you owe me 4 years of space rent, and here's what it looked like before I fixed it, and here's the money I spent into it. So here, well, let's go to court, see what the judge. I've never had anybody come back and get a home after I fixed it. And I've done bond for titles for, 35 years? So that's what I would do with them 20 trailers. What I'm gonna do, when I fix them 30 left, then I start on them 20, I'm gonna do a bond for title and fix one, and then another bond for title. I never go out and do anything. But in this park right here, in order to buy this, you're gonna need about $2 million down. So if you ain't got $2 million down and another $1 million to fix things, so if you got about $3 million in your pocket, it's a great park. If not, it probably don't need to make the deal work. Okay, next deal. Okay, this deal here is in Pulaski, Pennsylvania, and it's a big park. It's got some problems right now. The owner needs some people, somebody to come in and help him with put money into the park. We have enough money to make the park work if nothing happens. We don't have enough money to take the park and make it work and still keep fixing things. So he's willing to have somebody come in and work with him. I could probably get somebody to come in here and give him hardly anything down and just come in here and partner with the guy and finish fixing homes. If somebody would do that, I believe that everybody could make a bunch of money and not have to do anything but fix homes. The problem with that is if you're trying to do a 1031, you can't 1031 into that. You can only 1031 in and buy. You got to buy something. So doing this partnership thing, you'd have to check and see if you come in here and bought 50% of the property, the bank would have to approve. They don't work good. But if you want to come in here and partner up with someone, make a deal to come in here and lease option it, or partner with a guy and put money into fixing things instead of down payment, this is a pretty good property. You're going to need to put in about $500,000 into this property to make it actually work. But when you do, the park's going to be worth a whole bunch of money because it's 177 lots in Pulaski, Pennsylvania, a good area close to, I forgot what big city, but it's a big city it's real close to. Somebody tell me what big city Pulaski is close to. Sarah, you already know it. Your dad's client.
Can't remember.
Okay. This is a good opportunity. If somebody wants to talk about this, call me and I can talk to you about this property because this is an opportunity for somebody to come in without much money down on a property, all your money be spent fixing the property, and it'll help the guy that owns it and help you too. Anyway, come on, Rachel. Youngstown. It's real close to Youngstown, Pennsylvania. Murray Mobile Home Park. This is a smaller park, but it's a really nice park. Still got some upside. And finance it with a couple $100 down, I believe. I don't know for sure. Maybe check about $250. But it's clean. It's nice, and the guy that owns it likes it because it's clean and nice. And there's nothing left to do there but fix those 9 vacant mobile homes. And we've actually got a guy coming out here from Clayton Homes to talk to us about filling up the park. They're tearing down. There's 3 buildings out there in the front. And he's going to tear those down and put in about 5 more mobile homes in this park. And then the 9 vacant ones, I don't think there's 9 vacant ones left. I think 2 of them are now ready to rent. I think we only have about 7 trailers left to fix. Go to the next one.
I'll skip that one.
Huh?
That one wasn't supposed to be on there, so this is the next one.
Rosetown.
Mm-hmm.
This is a park right outside of Augusta, Georgia. It's a nice, clean park. Got a good manager. I don't think the owner would finance any of it. He don't owe anything on it, does he?
Yeah, but not. I don't know how much.
Not much.
No, he's pretty firm on the price. It's just,
He don't really care if they sells it because it
No.
runs good.
it's,
That's when you get, see, what you gotta understand is you can be in this situation too. This guy wants to sell this at 2.5 million at 70 spaces. And he don't really care if you buy it because he makes good money on it because he don't have a very big loan on it and it runs good. Rachel oversees this one,
Mhm.
and she don't have to. I offered to take all her parks and have somebody else do it. She said, "No, I want to do that one." So
that
it's easy.
doesn't, this one is the only one, it doesn't, this one doesn't, it runs itself pretty much.
We heard what the lady said. It runs itself.
Yeah,
So if you're looking for something, you can buy it at 8.5 cap. And need $57,000 to finish the project. So it ain't like it needs a whole lot of money. Now, there is some vacant mobile home spaces that you would need. This is not this is the planned completion is not after putting in the 19 mobile home spaces. This is just what you have right now.
yeah, that is not for.
No, you can put in 19 mobile homes and make a whole lot more money,
Mhm.
but you gotta put them in. But, this is something that we've already done the turnaround on this one. In other words, got rid of the bad people, did all the stuff, the guy shooting a cat with a BB gun or something. We got rid of all that kind of activities. And it's a pretty good park. Matter of fact, I sent somebody out to check on them when they went through this. This park has dirt roads, but we have a tractor in it. And the guy that was going through there told me, he said, "That's the nicest park I went through, considering, it's dirt roads and everything, because the guy keeps it up so good with that tractor." So got all those nice trees and everything. It looks good. It's a nice, clean park.
And the masters are played right there and people rent
Huh?
pretty high for the masters. So that's our next project for this place.
Okay. Okay, this is the one I really wanted to get into. This is a park in Toledo, Ohio. I thought the man that owned it was going to be here tonight. He probably didn't get off in time. But this is a park that the people that own it need some work. They came to a conference that I had a few years ago, and then they went and didn't use a consultant. They went and bought a park and had a guy that went in with them, and they all were going to do this plan together, but it didn't work out good because it really was. It was not that the person or they didn't really know what they were doing. They were nice people, very intelligent people, but they didn't really understand what they had. So they bought an alligator and thought it was not an alligator. And now they have an alligator and they don't want an alligator. And it's a lot better than it was when they bought it, I can tell you that. But it still ain't fixed. They don't want to spend more money. So here's an opportunity for somebody to come in here. They owe the bank about $2.5 million. Could use somebody to just come in here and take over. I think I could just have somebody come in here and just make them an offer to come in here and partner up with them at this much money. Say, we'll give you $2.5 million for your property, but we're going to come in here and take all the money. We're going to come in. We're not going to give you any money down. We're going to come in here and put the money into the property. And then in 3 years, we'll pay you your $2.5 million. They're not taking a risk because if you don't pay them, they can just keep it. But if you come in here and said, okay, we're going to come in here and buy your park for you for $2.5 million, we're going to come in here as your partner, we're going to be in charge of the property. We're going to be running the property. We're going to get all the expenses out of it. We're going to pay all the expenses for it, including everything, the note payment, the taxes. We're going to pay everything for the property, but we're going to get all the profit out of the property. And we're going to make the note payments. We're going to do everything. And in 3 years, we'll give you $2.5 million. Whatever we get after that is ours over that. And I think it's an opportunity for somebody to make a bunch of money because it's 124 lots in Toledo, Ohio, and it's a good park. It just put 34 vacant mobile homes fixed. So it's not like it's a real difficult plan here. You got to fix 34 trailers. And then you got 28 vacant mobile home spaces, and I've got a guy right now I'm talking to about coming in and filling those vacant lots and bringing in the homes and then selling them to the tenants. I invited him here. He's from Sacramento. I invited him for this conference, but couldn't make it. But they're looking at trying to put homes in there right now.
Do you want to put Peru up? I just have a small snapshot.
well, I don't know, yeah, but, I mean, but anyways, if you want another one like the one in Pennsylvania, where you can come in here, not put up a bunch of money, but put money into fixing something and have something that'll be worth a bunch more money than what you can get into it, here you go. This is the kind of thing that here, because of the business I'm in, this is the kind of things I run across. I normally don't have one we just sold over there for pork out. We sold it. We have things that are fixed, but usually they're not what I call great deals. We sell them, and I always want to sell something to make money, but most of the things, once we fix it, you're not going to get a great deal on it. You're going to get what the market will bear deal. That's what you're going to get. The only time you're going to get a great deal is when you buy something that somebody else has screwed up.
Okay.
Or maybe not screwed up, but maybe they just can't take the project any further. Okay, not necessarily screwed up. Peru, Indiana. Here's what we have. It's our last one of the day, right?
Mm-hmm.
We have a park in Peru, Indiana. There's 55 lots there, including 2 homes and about 3 or 4 apartments, I believe it is. And so 55 lots, 24 park-owned homes, 8 of them occupied, 16 vacant, 2 other rentals. There's 2 houses there. We are not making that much money. We've got a few people renting there. And here's what you can do. We bought this park. I got a call from the bank. Want to know if we wanted to buy a mobile home park. I worked out a deal with the mobile home with the bank because they didn't want to own this park. The man that owned it couldn't fix it. He would let it go. The bank, the city had come in here and was fining him money and all kind of stuff. So we went in and I made a deal with the bank to buy the loan for $190,000. I don't know how much they wrote, but I made a deal to buy it for $190,000. And the guy that owned the park signed off to sell us the park for whatever would get it to the bank. So we basically bought the thing for the bank loan, $190,000. And we told the bank, look, we don't have enough money to come in here and fix it and give you $190,000. So won't y'all just carry the $190,000? They said we can't do that, but they'll take 20% down, which is $38,000. So we gave them $38,000. They carried back $152,000 in some real good terms. We went to the city. Mark went out, met with them, talked to them, and negotiated these fines that they had for things that were just fines. They waived stuff that they had spent money on, like cleaning up property or fixing a sewer leak or water leak. Those kind of things we had to pay. And then, of course, we had to pay the back taxes. So here's where we're at. We need somebody to come in here, come in as our partner, and put in about $300,000, and that would get us up to where we'd be making pretty good money. Maybe we could refinance or bring some other people in. We'll sell it to somebody for $500,000, and with $100,000 down, we'll carry the note on it. I hadn't asked him that, and I see him looking at me like, "Are you nuts?" But we'll make it work.
He thinks we'll make it work. We have to go because we have to clean up before.
Okay.
We have to.
So we can sell this for $500 with $100 down. We'll carry a note on it. You'll have to take over our line on there. They won't let you take it over. We'll have to stay on as a guarantor. So we'll just let you come on as our partner. And for $500,000, you won't have to give us any of the profits or anything like that. You just have to make payments to us on our difference. So you come in and buy a partnership with us. You own the property, give us $100,000. We'll carry back the difference and somehow work it out. So that's it. But that's 55 lots in Peru, Indiana. And there's also 12 lots in 2 other parks that were owned by the site, but there's some bankruptcies and foreclosures and different things on that other property that's got to be worked out. So we're working on those too. So any of you guys that want to buy anything, or if you want to get with us and talk about the mobile home park business, we're going to have another one of these conferences in about 60 days, every other month. And that one we're going to talk about. I don't know what we're going to talk about yet.
To be determined.
To be determined.
A copy of any of the analyses that were on here, I can email them to you. You can all the pages have our contact information, so you can email them or email your questions to rmccirealestate@aol.com or call 209-996-4075. But again, our contact information is on Facebook. It's on YouTube, everywhere. And for anyone here, if you guys want a copy of any of the analyses, we can give you those as well.
We're all over the internet. You can look us up under mobilehomeparkconsultants.com. That's our website. I also have a belly dancing outfit that me and a guy named Big Earl do. They call us Yuck. But
We're live still.
I know we're still live. You got to have a little humor in your life. Anyway,
Thank you.
thank you guys for listening in. Good night.
I want to let her know when that belly dancing.
Hey, you know what? You got to have a little fun.
That's fine.
Let me end the live video before you say something. It ended with, you know what, we gotta have a little fun. That's fine. All right, okay. How
I'm
do
hungry
I
enough to eat a
post
mule.
this? It just
Anybody-
automatically posts, right?
Anybody want to go get something to eat?